What's up, everybody? This is Under the Arc Sports. I'm Eric,
And I'm David.
and today we're going to talk a little Mizzou basketball. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also find us on Facebook and on Instagram. So, with all of the uncertainty of COVID, Mizzou basketball is headed into the 2020 to 2021 season. Now let's take a look at the roster, Dave. Starting off with the guards, what do you see?
A lot of experience is what I see. You're looking at Torrance Watson, Xavier Pinson, the grad transfer Drew Buggs coming in, Javon Pickett. Then you have Drew Smith and Mark Smith, all able to pick up solid minutes. So it looks like a real deep lineup this year.
Yeah, I think we were talking just before we started filming. I think we're both expecting Drew Smith, Xavier Pinson, and probably Drew Buggs to be the starting three. Well, that's our unofficial projection with Drew Buggs playing point.
And with him playing point, it will really open up Xavier Pinson's game because now he doesn't have to run the offense. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, down the stretch of last season, Conzo Martin kind of turned Pinson loose, and he excelled. And having Drew Buggs in there as the point guard can take that point guard, floor general type of responsibilities off of Pinson's shoulders. And like you said, he may be able to just turn him loose for the rest of the entire season. And that could bode well for Missouri.
Plus,
especially because he's one of the few guys who can get to the hoop.
Yeah, he can create his own shot. And the other key thing I look at is now you have two guards with really good ball handling skills out there. So because of his experience as a point guard, he can take control of the game if he needs to. However, now the pressure's off of him.
Yeah, and if he's having an off night, Missouri can also turn to second-team preseason All-SEC Drew Smith, who, if you look at shooting percentages from last year, he was the best shooter from the floor. He was the only one of Missouri's guards returning to shoot more than 40% from the floor, which that is something that has to change. And we'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes. Now, taking a look inside, David, with Jeremiah Tillman, I feel like we know what we're going to get. The talent is there. The potential is there. Foul trouble is there. It's just always going to be there. And next to him, you're going to have either Kobe Brown or Mitchell Smith. And because of that foul trouble with Tillman, they both need to be ready, right?
Yes, and I think you can almost throw in Parker Brown, too, as he was starting to pick up minutes towards the end of the season last year, too.
Yeah. Now, incoming freshman, Jordan Wilmore. Can't teach 7'3".
Yeah, from his stats in high school down in Memphis, he averaged 8 points a game, 3 blocks a game, and 10 rebounds a game. So what that tells me is he's not really that big of an offensive player, but he will definitely impact games on the defensive side of things, which is what the Tigers tend to do anyways. They play better defense and worry about the offense. So I think you'll see him get some decent minutes, especially if Tillman starts picking up a lot of fouls.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as a freshman, does he have the footwork and the quickness to be able to stay in position? Because if he does, 7'3" is going to affect a lot of shots from guys driving the lane. Now, Dave, if we're looking at some key points for this Mizzou roster, I think the key is the team has to shoot the ball better. It's as simple as that. The team last year averaged 67 points a game, which is anything but spectacular. And looking at, in particular, the guards, Torrance Watson, 28.1% last year from three. Javon Pickett, 28.8. Drew Smith, 29.4 from three. Xavier Pinson, 27.9. only Mark Smith had even a respectable three-point percentage at 37.1. It was still, that's respectable. It's not even that good. Conzo Martin had the team in position plenty of times last season with a perfect play leading to a wide open shot, and then Tigers just threw up bricks.
Well, and Conzo says the offense is primarily designed to get open looks, but the problem, like you just said, is there were so many times where we were just drawing iron. So the guards definitely need to do a better job of hitting open shots. I mean, there's not much else you can say about it. You have to hit shots, otherwise they're not going to win games.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's talking about how much pressure's on Conzo Martin in the fourth year and all that. At a certain point, it's the onus falls on the players to make shots. Conzo Martin can draw up a play that gets a guy an open look, but he can't hit the shot, and that was the biggest issue. I mean, honestly, if you look at these percentages that everyone shot from three in particular last season, if everyone's just a couple 2-3 points up, that's probably 5 points a game, 6 points a game right there for Missouri. And that 15-16 record, I would say would be closer to 17-14, maybe even 18-13. And then you're talking about a team that is looking at the NIT and on the outer fringes of the bubble for the NCAA tournament.
And while I think Conzo's seat might be warm, nothing's going to happen this year due to COVID and the financial issues all universities are facing. I'm real interested to see at the end of both football and basketball season what the coaching carousel might look like.
Yeah. No, I think regardless of how this season goes, Conzo Martin's seat is safe, barring some sort of legal issues or NCAA violations, which, knowing Conzo Martin, that would be shocking if that were to happen. The other thing that Missouri needs, they need some good luck when it comes to injuries. From Michael Porter Jr., Jonte Porter in year 2, and then last year, Jeremiah Tillman missed half the season, and Mark Smith missed, 7 games?
Something like that. He only played 24 games last year.
Yeah, 7 games. So Conzo Martin just needs to have a little bit of luck for once when it comes to injuries.
Well, and if Mizzou does happen to keep a full healthy team, now you're looking at a lot of depth, and they can start playing more of a run and gun type game if necessary. Plus, it allows the players to really, like each shift they're on the court, play their heart out because they know they have good backups coming in to cover them.
Yeah, and that's one thing that some people have been frustrated with Conzo Martin is there's not really been a set rotation. The starting lineup has kind of fluctuated throughout Conzo's tenure. If players can stay healthy, it becomes that much easier to have your set starting 5 and your set 3 or 4 first guys off the bench.
And the other thing, the way this roster is designed now, you can start looking at matchups against teams because you have so many quality guards that you can consider playing a small game, or you could even go a little bit larger if you need to. So it'll be really interesting to see how he utilizes this lineup.
Yeah, in particular at the 4 spot, obviously you're going to go with whoever's better overall between Kobe Brown and Mitchell Smith. But something you mentioned was, depending on the matchup, maybe Mitchell Smith is the normal starter, but there's a matchup where the other team's 4 is just a real big, strong bulldog kind of player. That might be one where Kobe Brown gets a spot start and maybe the team plays a little bigger to match up.
Yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see how, especially the forwards are going to be utilized. I would be real interested to see if they do play Mitchell and Tillman together, because I know Tillman has the foul issues. Even with this injury, he averaged about 19 minutes a game. So my wonder is, with Mitchell's experience, they might have those two relieve each other while supplementing other people in.
Yeah. Now, looking at expectations for this season, to me, I mean, you can tell me if you disagree. I think the ceiling for this team is about 5th or 6th place, probably close to 6th in the SEC. And to me, the ceiling is like 12th. And I know that's a wide range, but to me, that speaks to just how tight the middle of the SEC is, as well as how much depends on this team. In my mind, it depends entirely on how they score the basketball. Can they hit open shots? They could not last year. They were 15 and 16 and at the bottom of the conference. If they can do better this year, I think they are good enough to challenge for a spot in the NCAA tournament.
Well, and I'm looking at the conference schedule right now because the non-conference is continually changing still. I think if the team manages to stay healthy, they have a good shot at least winning 10 games. And that will put them at 10-8 in conference play, which could potentially put them 5 or 6 in the league. So
10-8 in this league, I think unless you absolutely tank in non-conference, I think that's solidly in the NCAA tournament.
Right. So, and I say that with no injuries and then the experience and depth we have on our team, I think it is possible that Mizzou could go 10-8. Thank you for watching us today. Please remember to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages. Thank you for watching.
See you guys next time.